everyone, I'm Kelly Phillips.
And I'm Christian McCarville.
And you're watching Rider Sports Report. Well, a new semester has begun, which means fall sports are in full swing. Christian, what's your favorite fall sport that we have here at Rider?
Well, I gotta say cross country since I ran in high school.
Well, it's your lucky day, because today and later on in this episode, we will be joined by two members of the men's cross country team.
That's so exciting. So to kick off our first episode, Kelly covered a really amazing story over the weekend. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes. So I got an opportunity to spend the morning with the unified sports team here at Rider. Let's check it out now. Hey everyone, I'm Kelly Phillips with Rider Sports Report, and today I am here at the Unified Sports Soccer Practice, where I'm going to spend a little bit of time with the team and let you know how you can get involved. Unified Sports is a Special Olympics program that we have right here at Rider University. Rider students, who are also known as Unified Partners, team up with Special Olympics athletes to play a sport that varies depending on the season. Their goal is to promote friendship and inclusion through sports. Liz, can you tell us a little bit more about the program?
So for Unified Sports, we bring in students from Special Olympics New Jersey who live in the surrounding community, and then we also have our Rider students, which are Unified Partners, and basically the whole goal is to break down the misconceptions about disabilities. These kids have a lot of commonalities between the partners and the athletes, so it's really nice to make friends with them and get to know them on a level and just give them an opportunity that they wouldn't otherwise have.
My favorite part about being unified is just refining your skills, just kind of having fun while still, improving on your skills.
My favorite part about playing on Unified Sports is the connections that I'm able to build with the athletes and partners and the experience that I'm able to have as an athlete.
So there are actually a few ways to get involved with Unified. We have our fall season, which is our soccer season, and then our spring season, which is our basketball season. A lot of education majors will come out to the club, especially with their special needs minor or major, but it's really open to anyone, and you don't need to be too athletic to join. So it's a lot of fun, and you should definitely come out. You can follow us on Instagram at rider_unified_sports, or shoot us an email, and we'll get you the registration links to sign up.
What a great story and organization.
Thank you. Everyone involved is amazing, and I'm happy I was able to spend the day with them to see what they're all about. Now let's take a look at how the fall teams have been doing so far this season.
Well, the field hockey team currently has a 3-2 record. Sophomore Julia Dvorov got her first career hat trick to secure the team's win against Colgate.
The men's cross-country team kicked off their season in second place at the Siena Cross Country Invite. Sophomore Ben Woodward led the team, finishing third in his race, which was his personal best. Ben will actually be joining us later on, so stay tuned.
Also, at the Siena Cross Country Invite, the women's cross country team finished in 4th place. Senior Kristen Siegel finished 4th overall with a time of 18:41.1. This was her first time finishing in the top 10. Congrats, Kristen.
After winning the MAC championships last season, the men's soccer team is sitting with a 2-2 record. Senior forward Clement Beret was named MAC Offensive Player of the Week for September 16th. This honor came after he scored both goals in Rider's 2-0 win over LaSalle.
The women's soccer team currently has a 3-2 record. Freshman Mackenzie Rodriguez has been on fire. She was named MAC Rookie of the Week after she scored the sole goal against Temple University on September 15th. This was her third goal in 2 games.
Our reporter and sports analyst Dylan Manfre caught a quick post-game interview with Mackenzie after the game against Temple. Let's check it out.
And even defensively, how did you think the communication was on the field today?
I think it was really good. I think we did a great job switching it. A lot of our center backs saw a lot of action, so we did really well in the back.
And one last thing, when you guys are on the field and it is, a pretty stagnant game like it was today, what's really taking precedent for you? Your formations on the field or the attitude you guys are bringing onto it?
I think it's a combination of both, but for our team, we have a really good attitude all the time, so that's always a big factor in our play.
All right, Mackenzie, thanks so much.
What an insightful interview. Now we're going to throw it over to Dylan and Tom for our sports analyst segment to talk to you about the field hockey team. Take it away, guys.
Thank you, Christian. My name is Thomas Trimarco, and this is my friend Dylan Manfre. And Dylan, let's get right into it. This team had a very subpar performance versus Georgetown. How did they go from very subpar to a very dominating victory versus Colgate?
Well, honestly, I wouldn't call the Georgetown game subpar. I mean, a 1-0 loss, but whatever head coach Lori Husong said to them after the game in her 45-minute post-game speech to them really worked for them against Colgate in their dominating 5-1 victory. I spoke to junior defender Brittany Romanchuk after the game. She said communication really was the biggest thing. Against Georgetown, she told me that they didn't even talk at all. And fast forward to Colgate, and then she said it was the most they've talked the entire season really on the field. Carly Brocious, sophomore midfielder, or sophomore forward, I think, and Julia Devora, fellow sophomore midfielder. The two of them really meshed together on the field against Colgate, and you really saw that connection there between the two of them. It's quite honestly one of the most brutal duos in the NEC.
In your eyes, going forward, this team just needs to continue communicating, and then they could just beat anyone.
Absolutely. Their communication leads to their good play, and that's what's going to help them throughout conference play against teams like Fairfield, who's 5-1, winners of their last 5. Fairfield's not going to go down without a fight. It's just not going to happen. Fairfield's number 1 right now, Rider number 2. Fairfield, again, winners of 5 straight. They're not going down without a fight, and allowing 1 goal a game for Rider in each of their games. Fairfield's just not going to go down with just scoring 1 goal.
Speaking about the conference, this conference got drastically changed over the offseason. What can this team do to keep a winning record in conference play?
Well, you said drastic changes, and drastic they were. The NEC just brought back field hockey for the first time in 7 years since 2012. MAC field hockey is no longer in existence. Monmouth moved to the American East Conference, who Rider will actually face on October 6th here at Ben Cohen Field. And the 5 other teams, including Rider, shifted back to the NEC with the additions of Merrimack and Wagner, who just added field hockey programs, and LIU consolidated their programs to form one Long Island University. Rider has handled conference play well in the past, but this year they really, again, it's that communication and that fluency on offense that Lori Husong is going to be talking about. And she wants them to really be coherent on the field, run to the ball, and make those steals and intercept those passes from the defense, because that's just what they need. That's just what they need to do in order to win. You saw it against Colgate, and you saw it against LaSalle too in their 2-1 double overtime victory. That's just how they need to play, and that's just what's going to push them and in conference play. It's going to be fun to watch. It's going to be interesting to see how they match up against some of the new teams like Merrimack and Wagner, and LIU, because they consolidated programs, even though they have experience. But Rider, even last season, they have experience against a lot of the conference teams. And I think the Monmouth game in particular, because Monmouth is not in the NEC, that's a game where they can really test how they're going to be, because Monmouth last year gave Rider a run for its money.
Of course, Dylan. But you spoke about Coach Husong before. She recently got her 250th win, the first game of the season. How does her attitude and style of coaching translate to wins and make this team play the hardest they can?
I think it was the second game of the season she got her first, or it was the second game of the season that Husong got her 250th, but correct me if I'm wrong. But Lori Husong has always been a tough coach. Her field hockey intelligence is beyond comprehension. She's now one of 15 active Division I coaches to eclipse the 250 win mark. Her message is that you just got to make a good effort. You have to have a good attitude. You need to get to the ball when you see it. You can't shy behind a defender, and you just have to make the plays necessary and also talk on the field. You know, a 45-minute speech after that Georgetown game, I can't even imagine what she was saying after just a 1-0 loss.
Yeah.
But whatever she's doing, it's certainly worked over her 20 years at the helm of Rider Field Hockey, and I'm sure there's going to be plenty more wins from here on out.
And that's a great point, Dylan. Now let's throw it back to Christian.
Thank you, Dylan and Tom. Like we've been hitting towards all show, Kelly's sitting down with some of the members of the cross-country team to get their input in the season. Kelly?
Thanks, Christian. I'm sitting here with sophomore runners Ben Woodward and Jake Zappala. How are you guys doing today?
Doing good. Pretty well.
Well, thanks for coming on the show. Fun fact, you're our first athletes.
Oh, really?
Yes, you are. First episode. So thanks for coming on. Let's start from the beginning. What made you guys get into running?
You want to go first? Sure. So I started running in elementary school, 5th grade. My 2 best friends were really into it, so I decided why not try it. And I actually turned out to be pretty decent at it, so I just kept up with it. But that was my start.
Nice. Ben?
So I actually started running track when I was in my 8th grade year in middle school. but I was always like very nervous. I was a very nervous kid, so I didn't really want to be there at all. So I probably like showed up to like maybe half of the practices and only made 2 out of the 5 meets we had that year. And then over the summer, one of my best friends going into high school actually encouraged me to try out for the cross country team. And I almost missed the first practice because I just didn't pay attention to what day it was. And actually ended up showing up like 20 minutes late for the first time. And throughout the course of the year, I kind of stuck with it and almost got kicked off the team because I was getting too distracted with music and school and other things. But eventually I stuck with it, thought I could be pretty good at it, and I just kept rolling with it.
Here you are. So, looking back on last season, how do you guys feel like you've improved as a team?
As a team, we've improved in a lot of ways. We got some great young talent that came in, freshmen, and we've got some great transfers, as well as a lot of training that's gone into the summer and into the season now.
Nice.
If I have to definitely agree with Jake on all of that. And I would say that our mentality as a group and as a team has definitely improved since last year. Say we're a lot more positive and a lot more proactive and thinking that we can do great things this year, and everyone's really on the ball with their training and holding each other accountable. So I'm very excited to see what we can do this year.
Nice. So Ben, I know you recently beat your personal best in one of the races, so congrats on that.
Thank you.
So for both of you, what goals do you have going forward this season for yourselves individually?
Well, individually, for a time, I want to improve on my time from last year and get a personal best in the 8K.
Mm-hmm.
And I also want to try and be in the top 7 of the team so I can try and help out and maybe even score at some point.
Nice.
My goals are a little bit different. I actually am not really thinking about what time I'm going to hit this season at all. I'm more just concerned about placement in our conference. I want to be in the top 25, and at the rate that I'm running now and the rate that the MAC has also improved for this year, I think I still have a shot. I think I might have a shot at even placing a lot lower in the standard. And I also just want to stay healthy for a full season and a full year, because last year I got injured probably a little bit after last year's MAC meet, and I was actually very upset about that because it took me about 2 months on alternate and other training to get back into shape for track and field. So if I can just, make the top 25 and stay healthy for the year, then that's good enough for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to be an 8th place team. I want to do a lot better than that.
So then looking at the conference, do you think it's possible for you guys to get up there?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, I'd say it's definitely possible.
Yeah, we're trying to make some big jumps this year.
Awesome. So take us through what a meet day looks like for both of you. Like, how do you prepare? What goes on? Take us through all of that.
Okay. Well, the meet day itself starts the night before. You got to get to bed early. For myself, I pack everything the night before, make sure everything's all ready to go. And then the next morning, usually we start off with a shakeout a couple hours before the actual race. And you just got to make sure that you're eating right and preparing well. And try not to get too stressed about it, but really get ready mentally.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and the preparation, goes back into a week before the meet or even a couple days before the meet, where you gotta make sure you're eating well, sleeping well, recovering well, which includes rolling out, stretching, seeing the trainers if we have any problems, if we're banged up or need any extra assistance. And just throughout the morning, you just gotta think that, hey, after I do my shakeout and make sure I eat right, I just gotta get myself mentally ready for the day and ready to take on whatever challenges happen.
Right. So I know you guys are in cross-country mode right now, but you both also run track. So what's it like participating in a sport that's kind of an all-year thing? How do you manage that? What's that like?
You kind of get into a rhythm with practice and school and everything like that. So having it all year round, it's a blessing that we're able to compete all year round. But it is tiring at times. But if you really do have a passion for the sport, it's not too taxing. It's really enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
I would say that it is tough at times being an athlete, all year round. It's not like, basketball, baseball, or soccer, other sports where they play for, only a portion of the year, and the rest of the time, they might be preparing for the next season, but, we're still in season all year round. So it can be challenging at times to kind of balance the course load of my, academic schedule as well as with the practice schedule. And when I'm not at practice, I'm either studying the best that I can or doing my schoolwork, because I'm undeclared, but I'm starting to go into the sciences, and it's a lot. So it takes a toll on you after a while, but you just kind of got to stay positive, remind yourself of your goals, and remind yourself of why you're still here and why you're doing what you're doing.
Yeah, exactly. Well, thank you guys for coming on the show.
Thank you.
And good luck
thank
with
you.
the rest of your season.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you all so much for watching our very first episode. We are so excited to get the show going.
Make sure to follow us on Instagram at Rider Sports Report to get updates regarding the show.
Once again, I'm Christian McCarville.
And I'm Kelly Phillips. We'll see you on the next episode of Rider Sports Report.